I think, you know, the stars aligned that day when Allison went through and decided to pick different people from around the province and throw us into a gym. And it was magic the way it just happened. Like looking back on it now, like she couldn't plan anything like that.
I know it sounds silly, but we really talked about let's change the game. Let's make women's basketball bigger and better. Let's get young girls excited about watching us play. Like there's nothing like that.
It was amazing because everybody's like, why are we playing O Canada? You know, it was pretty neat. And we're like, yeah, that's because of us. So it was pretty fun.
To best describe the last quarter century of women's basketball success at Simon Fraser University, you first need to rework an old adage to read, foresight was 20/20. How else can you explain why, in 1988, the late Clan Athletic Director Lorne Davies decided to hire a rookie head coach named Allison McNeill to guide a struggling program? Or how McNeill hit the recruiting trail to collect a class of freshmen who were not only supremely talented, but set to grow together in perfect simpatico, not only racking up wins on the court, but inspiring future generations of young girls to play the game.
I realized that that is one of my strengths, is bringing people together, and I think I had the makings of a good coach, but I grew up here. I really grew up here because I didn't, you know, I started young. I think I was 27 or 28 when I came here, and I had a lot to learn and thought I knew a lot more than I knew, I think, and I just grew. But probably the biggest thing was that first group were so good, they pushed me to be better. They just pushed me to be better because I'm like, holy cow, they are so good. I have to help them to be better, and I think we pushed each other, but they challenged me every single day.
Michelle Hendry came from Terrace, Andrea Schneider from Invermere. From Kamloops came Nadine Caron and Kathy Martin. Mary Lou McDonald hailed from Cranbrook and Heidi Hansen from New Westminster. 6 freshmen. A sophomore in Kira Pavlich, and seniors in Sarah Hove, Denise Logan, and Michelle McKenzie. In the fall of 1988, they hardly struck fear in the rest of the conference. By the time their 1989-90 sophomore season had rolled around, an incredible sense of possibility seemed to hang in the air, despite the fact that no previous SFU basketball team, men or women, had ever made the NAIA National Championship Tournament.
That's all the focus was winning those games and doing something that hadn't been done before. How exciting would that be?
And along the way, a funny thing happened. People fell in love with the team. It was impossible to miss.
Oh yeah, I noticed. I mean, people were starting to pack our gym. Male coaches were asking me questions. High school coaches were coming up to watch us practice. People knew the names of my players. People were saying, oh, you know, the kids at my school, they do their hair just like Michelle Hendry. You know, and who's your favorite player? Everybody loves Andrea Schneider, you know.
You know, you're walking across campus, you know, in your second and third year, and everybody's like, great game, and when's your next game? And, you know, we had football players, wrestlers, and that was the nice thing about SFU, is all the athletic department was family. And we had so many different teams supporting us and cheering us on, and it was great.
You know, I'm always the kid that went to get an autograph and the person was, you know, had already signed 1,000 before and then was done, and I never got it. So it's sort of like when it was my turn to do it, I'm like, we are going to stay here and we have to sit here and give every kid the autograph. Like you just did it. You didn't even think like, we got to go, it's time to go. It was just, we'll just do it.
And while Hendry was clearly the team's most valuable player, a front court force capable of scoring 30 points in any game, her actions off the court seemed to symbolize the entire roster's team-first mentality.
Who do you think laid out the uniforms before the rest of us went to go play a game? There's our star handing out uniforms on everybody's locker, making sure everything's good. Kind of a little mother hen, making sure everybody's got everything, everybody's organized.
I'm not winning anything if I don't have that group of people around me. So I think that's, again, it's timing, it's luck, I don't know. It's just my good fortune to be around those great people for that length of time.
Harmony fueled momentum. SFU finished its league slate at 16-2, and after beating first place Western Washington for the district title, needed only to beat visiting Pacific University of Oregon in the bi-district final to advance to the national championships. In the end, it wasn't even close. SFU won 87-55 and punched its ticket to the Nationals in Jackson, Tennessee.
It was so important to just say to everybody, we can do this. And I mean, no men's or women's basketball team at Simon Fraser at that time had ever been to a national tournament. So you're a first, and you don't know what that's like.
Its trip to the Nationals ended in the quarterfinals with a 104-98 overtime loss to Claflin of South Carolina. But despite the disappointment, a seed had been planted.
It's huge because I think it's like anything, you don't know what it is till you get there, and people can tell you, people can explain it, how hard it is, how this is, what the teams are like, but until you get there you don't know. And I think if we hadn't broken through right there, I don't know, would it have taken 2 more years, 3 more years? I'm not sure how it would have been.
Instead, things continued to improve. SFU would reach 2 NAIA National Championship game finals under McNeill's watch, and later, under head coach Bruce Langford, it would win 5 CIS national titles, followed by an NCAA Division II Sweet 16 berth. They would also gain the realization that their popularity was paramount in inspiring a new generation of girls players.
I think it's okay to say that, because I really think whether we changed it, just us, I don't know, but we had a part in changing it, and that group of women were strong, smart, tough. They were out there. They weren't going to shy away from anything. They brought a certain toughness to basketball and to being a female athlete that I think was needed, and they were on the cusp.
They led with their hearts, but also with their big 1980s style hair.
That's just what it is, and we all had it. Isn't it crazy? Some of those pictures, like you see, the funniest I think was the program that would come out, and it would be literally, like now you might get the background in it. And I'm gonna say for me and quite a few others, it was just hair and face, and you might get a little bit of red up here, but it was mostly hair. It was so great though, wasn't it? It was just the bigger the better.
So many elements fit so perfectly into place. First, a special coach in Allison McNeill.
She makes you work so hard without even knowing that you're doing it. And you don't want to let your teammates down, and you don't want to let her down. And she just has a special way of bringing that out in athletes, and she definitely brings the best out in people. She knows what your potential is, and she somehow gets there without you even knowing it.
And second, a roster of players who just seemed destined to play together.
They were a fabulous group, just so eager to be better. They so wanted to be good, and I think that they were easy to coach.
And in the end, a lifetime of memories for a coach and her players.
I think she's been to all of our weddings. I think she's probably met each of our children. She gave the speech at my wedding. And I think the fact this is a testament to our group is that 25 years later, we can still get together and we laugh so much.
It's amazing that those 25 years have gone by. She is still, to this day, a huge part of my life, and I'm sure with the rest of the girls that, and I'll email her periodically throughout basketball season or just in life, because I respect her so much, respect her opinion. It's nice to get another look on things. So yeah, she hasn't gone far at all.